Hey there, my name is Alex, I am the Silver Mont, and this is an early access preview, or review, of Risk of Rain 2. This is a game you can pick up on Steam right now, in early access. I'd say there's a good chance of it coming to other platforms down the line. But Risk of Rain 2, what is it? An action-adventure third-person shooter with randomized elements. This video should give you a good idea of what the gameplay loop is like. The first Risk of Rain came out some years ago, I think 2013 maybe? It was a 2D side-scroller, whereas the sequel is third person in a 3D space. I have a whopping 2 hours in the first game. I played it and thought, this is really cool, it's a really cool concept, but I'm awful at side-scrollers. But man, if they ever make a sequel in 3D, I will be all over that. And here we are some years later, and there's a 3D sequel. And just to point out, there's nothing wrong with the first game being a side-scroller in 2D. Just not my sort of game. So how does Risk of Rain work? Well, right now, it is an early access title, and at time of writing, you have access to one initial character, and you can unlock 5 more. Doesn't take too long to unlock them either. The game starts and you appear in an escape pod. You leave the escape pod and your objective is simply to find a teleporter, which will take you to the next level. This repeats in an infinite loop, as of right now. Whilst you explore the level looking for the teleporter, hint, look for the particle effects around the teleporter gate, you'll find power-ups for your characters inside chests. In a nutshell, defeat enemies to get money, use money to open chests, use item from chest to kill more enemies. These power-ups come in many different forms, from increasing your movement speed, your attack speed, giving you extra double jumps, healing you every time you deal damage, to more bizarre effects such as a guitar item that spreads lightning damage out between enemies, or a mask that has a chance to revive enemies you kill as friendly ghosts. Now, when you die in Risk of Rain 2 or 1, that is the end of your run, so to speak, and then you start again. You can also permanently unlock things during these runs. For example, if you say, clear a teleporter without taking damage, you will unlock access to an item which will then be added to the pool of power-ups that can appear in future runs. The game also supports up to 4-player co-op. I would say this is the best way to play. As of right now, people have been editing or modifying the game to allow higher player counts, like up to 16 I believe, but officially right now, 4 players is the cap. Items spawn for everyone, so you'll need to spread them out amongst yourselves. The difficulty gradually increases over time, so the more loops you go through, the harder things will get. One of the nice things about this game is how simple and relaxed it is, despite all the chaos on screen. It's an easy game to jump into with a low stress environment, so to speak. There's no real barrier to entry, you just pick up the game and you start playing. I know it's a bit of a bizarre comparison, but it's a bit like Super Smash Bros. Very low barrier of entry, but a quite high skill ceiling. Even though deaths are permanent, you don't really lose anything, so dying it's not really like a big deal. Speaking of death, if you're playing in multiplayer or co-op and you die, you will respawn on the next level, assuming someone on your team survives and reaches the next level. As an early access title, there are features that aren't currently implemented, but are coming soon if you check them out in-game. This includes more characters and items primarily. Hell, by the time this video is up, maybe something is out, I don't know. We can probably expect to see something along the lines of a proper end boss at some point, along with more enemies, more stages, and so on. The starting roster of Commando, Huntress, Multi, Merc, Engineer and Artificer are interesting enough to be getting on with though. Although, maybe it's just me and I suck, but I think the Artificer needs a bit of tweaks, but I probably just suck with her. Her? Him? I don't know. The game has a really simple visual style, but it's one I really like, as the particle effects in particular are really stylish, and in general it's clean and bright, and I just love how it looks. And at least on my PC it runs very smoothly, even when things are getting insanely hectic, when you're 100 minutes into a run and there's like 1,000 things exploding every second. The soundtrack is also really, well, I don't know the word for it, it's funky. There isn't much of a story to roll with here, no story mode or anything like that, but there are flavour texts around that you can read in the logbook, the lore, if you will. It's a fun little setting. and in general it's a game I can highly recommend, especially if you have some friends to check it out with. Give the game a look, and let me know what you think of it, if you've given it a spin. I'm looking forward to seeing where the developers take this game, as I think it's a lot of fun. Until next time though, you guys take care. Ciao.